How you doing today? I want to share something with you that I thought about while I was in prayer this morning. And this is probably the only time I can ever remember that I hope that someone can prove me wrong. But I want to share this thought with you today. As I was praying, I was thinking about some of my loved ones, and I began to grieve over them because some of them just aren't right with the Lord. And I realized too that when we get to heaven, those who don't make it, God's going to wipe their memory from our minds. If we were in heaven and God allowed us to know that our loved ones didn't make it, there would be tears. There's no way that we could go and live with that knowledge and not be grieved over it. And so I thank God that when we get to heaven, God will wipe away our tears. But this thought came to my mind as I was praying and telling God how I grieved over some of my family members and about people lost all over the world. And I thought to myself, does God sorrow? Does God have grief over those? We know that God is all powerful, but He's also ever present and all knowing. And the thought came to my mind, with God who's always in the past, in the present, and the future, will God grieve even though the rest of His people don't? Think about this. And again, I don't know if what I'm thinking is right or not, but and if you can help me to understand this, I'll be grateful. But listen, can God make Himself forget? And if He could, would He then be all-knowing? I don't know. But the thought that the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, with all the joys of His people being in heaven for eternity, will there still be a part of Him that grieves? I hope that's not the case, but I don't see how without Him somehow making Himself forget, which again I believe would mean that He's not all-knowing anymore. How can God limit Himself? So anyway, if that's true, if God will spend eternity loving us and enjoying us, and yet a part of Him grieving and being sorrowful for those who rejected His Son, what an amazing God we have, that even though everything that He's prepared for us, everything for the child of God who makes it to heaven to spend eternity with Him, what joys that will be. But will our Father, will the Son, will the Holy Ghost grieve for eternity? If that's true, and if you're lost today, I want you to think about that. That even though if you die and go to hell, God will grieve over you. So that was my thought I wanted to share with you today. And again, if you can prove me wrong, I'd be glad about that. Anyway, just a thought. And if it is true, then God's love is far greater than anything we can even imagine. Anyway, think about it. Let me know what you think. All right, God bless.